Well, hello. Welcome to TreeHouse Tales here at Glendale Central Library in Glendale, California. My name is Edgar Bullington. The children at my library call me Mr. B, and this is librarian Mindy Liberman.
Hi, very glad to see you. And we have some special guests today. We'd like to thank the first grade class and Mrs. Carnevale from Holy Family School in Glendale. So thanks for coming.
Well, how are we starting today, Mindy?
Well, today we have a story called Nothing, and it's by John Agee.
It was almost 5 o'clock. Otis had just sold his last antique. He was just about to close up shop when another customer walked in.
It was Susie Gump, the richest lady in town. "Goody, goody," she said. "Now what's for sale?"
Otis looked around. Nothing.
"Nothing," said Susie. "How much do you want for it?"
Otis was baffled.
"I have a lot of things," said Susie, "but I've never had nothing. I'll pay you $300.
Well, this is ridiculous, thought Otis. Then he remembered the words of his father. The customer is always right. Otis grabbed nothing and carried it out to Susie's car.
"Thank you," said Susie, and she handed him a check.
Otis was stunned.
So were the shopkeepers across the street.
How'd you do it? Said Wally.
"Unbelievable," said Sam. $300 for nothing? That only happens in the movies."
In fact, it happened again the very next day.
Susie Gump was back. "Nothing is wonderful," she said. "I must have more."
But, miss, said Otis, I can't sell you nothing.
"Very well," said Susie. "I'll find it somewhere else."
Wally was waiting for her. You're in luck, miss. I have the finest in nothing.
Sam called from next door. "I have nothing imported, nothing from Italy, nothing from China."
Well, it didn't take long for everyone to hear about Susie Gump's obsession. Buying nothing as if it was something? She was nuts.
But then, maybe there really was something to nothing.
If so, there was only one way for people to find out.
Soon, the whole town was in a frenzy. Nothing sold like nothing before. People quickly ran out of space. In order to make room for nothing, they had to get rid of something.
Otis was thrilled. He found more things than his shop could hold. But business was bad. People didn't want things. They wanted nothing. And in less than a week, everybody had plenty of it.
Over at the Gump mansion, Susie called her maid. "Rosie, could you fetch me a towel?"
There is no towel, madam, said Rosie.
"What about a bathrobe?"
Oh, there's no bathrobe, madam, said Rosie. There's nothing.
"Nothing won't do," said Susie. "I need something right now. Bring the car around to the front."
Oh, there's no car, madam.
So, still wet, Susie climbed back into her clothes and walked into town.
Looking for nothing, miss? Said Sam.
Susie kept walking. Something had caught her eye. A familiar antique shop. "Oh, goody," she said, looking around the room. "What's for sale?"
Everything, said Otis.
Susie pulled out her checkbook. "I'll take it."
It was almost 5 o'clock when the last things were carted away. Otis's shop was empty again. He was just about to close up when another customer walked in.
"Fantastic! What a super-duper shop you've got here." It was Tubby Portobello, the richest man in town. "What's for sale?"
Otis checked the clock. I'm sorry, sir, we're closed.
you.
That's fun.
That is. Okay. So now we have a more serious story.
Oh.
This one is The Fisherman and His Wife, written by the Brothers Grimm, retold and illustrated by Rachel Isadora.
With lovely pictures.
Very nice
Yeah.
pictures. You like them.
Long ago, there was a fisherman who lived with his wife in a pigsty by the sea. One day, the fisherman caught an unusually large flounder.
Please spare my life. I am not a fish, but an enchanted prince, the flounder begged.
Surprised that the fish could speak, the fisherman let him go. When the fisherman arrived home, his wife asked for the fish that she would cook for dinner. The fisherman told her about the flounder.
Did you not wish for anything before you let him go? She asked.
Well, what could I possibly wish for? The fisherman said.
We live in a place that is small and stinks. Go tell the enchanted flounder, I want a hut, the wife insisted.
The sea was stirring when the fisherman returned. Flounder, my wife has a wish, he called out.
What is it? The flounder asked as he swam near the shore.
A hut, the fisherman answered.
Go then. She has it already, the flounder said.
When the fisherman arrived home, his wife said,
Husband, isn't this much better?
Yes, the fisherman answered. Now we will be happy.
And they were, for a few days, until the wife said, This hut is still too small. Go, husband, and tell the flounder I want a stone castle.
The fisherman knew this was not right, but he did not want to argue, so he went. The sea was green and murky when the fisherman called to the flounder that his wife had another wish.
What does she want now? The flounder asked.
Alas, she wants a stone castle, the fisherman called.
Go then. She has it already, the flounder said.
When the fisherman arrived home, his wife asked,
Is this not beautiful?
Yes, the fisherman said. Now let us be content.
The following morning, the wife decided, We should be king of all the land.
But I don't want to be king, the fisherman said.
Then I will be. Go tell the flounder, I must be king, the wife said.
So the fisherman left with a heavy heart. The sea was dark and frothy when the fisherman called to the flounder that his wife had another wish.
What does she want now? The flounder asked.
To be king, the fisherman said, frightened.
Go home. She is king, the flounder said.
The fisherman went home and said, Now, wife, there is nothing more to wish for.
I am king, and you are nothing but my husband. Go tell the flounder, I want to be emperor over all the lands, the wife ordered.
The sea was black and boiled up from deep below. The fisherman trembled when he called to the flounder.
What does she want now? The flounder asked.
To be emperor, the fisherman called.
Go. She is emperor, the flounder called back. The wife was emperor.
Are you satisfied now? The fisherman asked.
No, the wife said. I am emperor now, but I want to be pope too. Go immediately and tell the flounder.
The sea roared as it rose higher and higher. The fisherman was very afraid when he called out to the flounder.
What does she want now? The flounder asked.
To be pope, the fisherman answered.
She is pope, the flounder shouted.
When the fisherman arrived home, he said, Wife, you are pope. Now Let well enough alone.
But as the sun rose in the morning sky, the wife said, I want to be God. Go tell the flounder at once.
The fisherman was horrified. I cannot ask the flounder to do this, he begged.
The wife fell into a rage, and so the fisherman left.
The sea rose with waves as high as mountains when the fisherman called out.
What does she want now? The flounder shouted.
She wants to be God, the fisherman cried out.
Go to her, the flounder called.
When the fisherman arrived home, there was the old pigsty, and beside it was his wife.
And that is where the fisherman and his wife lived from that day on. At least that one ended as it should have, right?
You can't be too greedy.
You can't be too greedy. All right. Well, talking about greed, we have a story called What a Treasure.
Ooh.
Okay. And this one
is by Jane and Will Hillenbrand. The day Mole got his new shovel, he started to dig for treasure.
Good luck, said his father. Good luck, said his mother. I bet you won't find any treasures worth keeping, said his brother.
Mole dug. He dug until he found a twig.
Bird flew down. Oh, what a treasure, he chirped. It's just what I need for a sturdy nest.
Well, why don't you keep it, said Mole, and he began to dig some more. Mole dug and dug. He dug until he found a shell.
Snail crept over. Oh, what a treasure, she exclaimed. It's just what I need for a cozy house.
Why don't you keep it, said Mole, and he began to dig some more. Mole dug and dug and dug. He dug until he found an acorn.
Squirrel scampered near. Oh, what a treasure, she chattered. It's just what I need for a delicious dinner.
Why don't you keep it, said Mole, and he began to dig some more. Mole dug and dug and dug and dug. He dug until he found another hole. Oh, what a treasure, Mole shouted as up popped a little mole. You are just what I need and want. A friend.
What luck, said his father. How fun, said his mother. I bet you'll want to keep this treasure, said his brother.
Well, of course. Why not? Of course, answered Mole's new friend. Then Mole and his friend began to dig some more.
And now,
Oh,
the Happy Hedgehog Band by Martin Waddell, illustrated by Jill Barton.
deep in the heart of Dixon Woods lived a happy hedgehog named Harry. Harry loved noise, so he made a big drum, and he banged on the drum, tum-tum-ta-tum.
A hedgehog called Helen was out in the woods. She heard tum-tum-ti-dum, and she liked it. So she made a drum and went off to join in the drumming.
And so did a hedgehog named Norbert and another called Billy. They both made drums, and followed the tum-tum-ta-tums until all the hedgehogs with drums were gathered together at Harry's. Tum-tum-ta-tum went one drum. That was Harry.
Diddle-diddle-dum went one drum. That was Helen.
Rat-a-tat-tat went one drum. That was Norbert. And boom went one drum. That was Billy.
Tum-tum-ta-tum. Diddle-diddle-dum. Rat-tat-tat. Boom. Tum-tum-ta-dum. Diddle-diddle-dum. Rat-tat-tat. Boom.
All the woods were humming and tumming with drumming.
Stop! Cried the pheasant, the owl and the bee, the mole from his hole, and a badger called Sam, and his mother, and the fox and the crow, the deer and the dove, the frog and the toad, and the spider, and the dog who was lost in the woods.
Tum went the band, and they stopped.
We want to play too, said the others. But we haven't got drums, so what can we do?
And nobody knew except Harry. Harry knew all about noise. So he said, you can hum, and you can hoot, and you can buzz, you can whistle, you can clap, you can click, and you can pop, and we'll carry on with the drums.
And they did. And the dog who was lost in the woods just danced.
Tum, tum,
thank you.
ta-tum, diddle, diddle, dum, rat-a-tat-tat. Boom! Thank you for helping.
Nicely done.
Put my drum away.
All right, now we have a bedtime story. Tick-tock, drip-drop, a bedtime story by Nicola Moon, illustrated by Eleanor Taylor. And for this one, we need a clock. Can you hear this?
Barely, but
Okay.
yes, it's
All
a
right.
very quiet clock.
Well, listen to this.
All right.
Rabbit was lying in his bed trying to get to sleep.
Tick-tock,
Tick-tock, went the clock. I can't get to sleep, said Rabbit. All I can hear is that
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
it's driving me mad.
I'll stop the clock, said Mole, and he got out of bed.
Rabbit plumped his pillows and turned over. At last, no more tick-tock. Now I can go to sleep. Rabbit couldn't hear a tick-tock, but he could hear a drip-drop.
Drip, drop, drip, drop, went the tap.
I can't get to sleep, said Rabbit. All I can hear is that drip, drop, drip, drop. It's driving me mad.
I'll turn off the tap, said Mole, and he got out of bed.
Rabbit turned over and sighed. At last, no more tick-tock.
Drip, drop.
Now I can get to sleep. Rabbit couldn't hear a,
Tick, tock, drip, drop.
but he could hear.
Went the cat.
I can't get to sleep, said Rabbit. All I can hear is that it's driving me mad.
I'll put the cat downstairs, said Mole, and he got out of bed.
Rabbit yawned and closed his eyes. At last! No more.
Tick, tock, drip, drop.
Now I can get to sleep. Rabbit couldn't hear,
Tick, tock, drip, drop.
but he could hear,
Bang, bump, bang, bump, bang, bump.
bang, bump, bang, bump went the garden gate in the wind. I can't get to sleep, said Rabbit. All I can hear is that bang, bump.
Bang, bump.
It's driving me mad.
You're driving me mad, but I'll close the gate, said Mole, and he got out of bed.
Rabbit pulled the bedclothes up round his neck and stretched out his legs. That's better. Now I can get to sleep, he said. Rabbit couldn't hear.
Tick, tock, drip, drop. Bang, bump.
He couldn't hear anything at all, just silence. And he fell sound asleep.
At last, said Mole. Mole lay in his bed trying to get to sleep. Went Rabbit. Now I can't get to sleep, said Mole. All I can hear is that it's driving me mad. So he got out of his bed, took his blanket and pillow, and went downstairs to sleep with the cat. No tick-tock, no drip-drop, no bang-bump, no snore-snore, just a gentle and Mole fell fast asleep. Well, thank you very much for coming to the treehouse today. We'd like to thank Holy Family especially for letting you come, because you're a very special audience for us. And we'll see all of you next time, Treehouse Tales, and maybe before then you will come to the Glendale Public Library and check out a few of these wonderful books. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.